News about one of their star defensive players as they prepare to take on the Texans.
And a spoonful of this new sugar developed at Tufts that may taste better and may be healthier for you.
Now, live on WBZ TV and streaming on CBS News Boston, this is WBZ News.
We begin at 5 o'clock with some good news tonight from the Patriots as they gear up for their postseason battle this weekend. Star cornerback Christian Gonzalez was back on the practice field today. Thank you for joining us. I'm David Wade.
And I'm Lisa Hughes. This is a good sign that he could be ready for Sunday against the Texans. And we have live team coverage of the Patriots tonight, beginning with WBZ Sports Director Steve Burton. And Steve, having Gonzalez back would be a major bonus.
Thumbs up, no question about it. Gonzalez was out there in a red non-contact jersey. He didn't hit, but he was out there, and that's encouraging all the way around as the Pats gear up for their showdown against the Texans on Sunday. Our own Dan Roach is down at Gillette today. Roachy, what more can you tell us?
Yeah, Steve, it was nice to see him in the locker room. Nice to see he declined to speak to the media today, but he came out in that red jersey, walked out to practice, and lo and behold, he was on the practice field. A great sign if you're a Pats fan after he went down with a head injury against the Chargers here on Sunday. Now, Gonzalez was in that red non-contact jersey, indicating he's still in concussion protocol at practice, so he could still have a chance of being cleared to play come game time Sunday. Regardless of who was out there, head coach Mike Vrabel wants his team to keep the same have-fun mindset that's gotten them this far.
Just feel like he put a lot into it. You know, this isn't the easiest profession in the world, and you know, we only get one chance a week, and so if we only try to focus on having fun during the game, it's a small window of our week, and so we want to bring good people in here that we enjoy being around.
Well, some good news continues. The injury report just came out for the Patriots a few minutes ago. Christian Gonzalez is on it. Concussion protocol limited in practice today. That's a very good sign, Steve, that he was limited. Should be able to ramp up as he goes. And if the Patriots can have him out here on Sunday, that would be a good sign. On the reverse side of that, the Texans lost their top wide receiver, Nico Collins, in the win over Pittsburgh on Monday night. He did not practice today. So one thing balancing here or another, but good news on the Patriots side so far when it comes to Christian Gonzalez getting ready for Sunday. Back to you.
All right, yeah, keep everybody healthy. All right, Danny, great job. It's been a while since the Patriots had a second playoff game at home. The first step to getting back there was Robert Kraft admitting he made a mistake in hiring Gerard Mayo so quickly. Not only did he admit that, he fixed that in a hurry. Mayo was out, Mike Vrabel was in. And here we are. Here we are. Now, I got to spend some time this morning with Mr. Kraft in the legendary trophy room, the Lombardi trophies, the Super Bowl rings. It gives you chills, and it brings back so many memories. I asked him how difficult it was to make the move to another head coach.
Look, in title, our family owns this team, but really, we're custodians of an asset of the New England community. And I didn't think we were doing a good job the last few years, and I couldn't stand what was going on every week, and it was my responsibility to change it the best I could. And yes, you know, now, did we think we'd go from 4-13 to
15-3?
15-3? No, we didn't. My objective was to make the playoffs. Then anything can happen. And, you know, we saw that in 01. Mm-hmm. You know, you make the playoffs, anything can happen.
It's the best in the business. You can see how much this turnaround means to him. But much more of my conversation with Mr. Kraft later on in sports and this Sunday on Patriots Game Day as well. Guys, he was so much fun to talk to, so genuine, and he's so pumped up on how far his team can go.
And he has reason to be in a great mood, right?
Right, things are going well. Let's keep it going. Thank you, Steve.
Right.
Well, the Patriots have home field advantage hosting Sunday's game.
But even if the game were in Houston, they'd still have some pretty big fan support. WBZ's Aaron Parsegian is live for us at Gillette tonight. And Aaron, strong Patriot fan base in the heart of Houston.
Yeah, Yeah, David and Lisa, like many of us, these Pats fans in Houston, Texas were born into Patriots fandom up here, but now they find themselves deep behind enemy lines ahead of Sunday. Across New England, there's nothing like the buzz when the Pats are rolling.
It's vibing. Everyone's excited at all times. Everyone just kind of has that glow. Everyone knows it's game week. Everyone knows it's the playoffs.
So how do you get that same experience nearly 2,000 miles away from Gillette Stadium?
The club started as a home for all of us that, love Boston sports and didn't have a place to watch the game.
Josh Samples is the president of the Houston Patriots Fan Club, a group of more than 50 Pats fans in Space City who watch nearly every game together.
There's been a core of hardcore fans that have been there game in, game out through a 4-13 season that are, relishing this.
Marion Ryan Coughlin is one of those hardcore fans who moved from Cambridge to Houston a decade ago.
My daughter found this group on Facebook, and I went to one game and I never stopped.
At Foxborough South, they've cheered on Super Bowls, the 28-3 comeback, the past couple down years, and now the team's resurgence.
This year, it's unbelievable. It's amazing. It's incredible. It's so awesome.
And now in the playoffs, they are gearing up to cheer on the Pats in enemy territory.
We've gotten a lot of trash talk about how good their defense is and that they're going to smack Drake around and all this stuff. It's been a lot of trash talk. It's been playful at best.
Together, they remain confident in their hometown team and quarterback Drake May to help silence the broader crowd in the bar they'll be at Sunday.
I think the difference in the game could be Drake May running. Take it off. I think he will make a play or two.
And Josh Samples, the president of the club we talked to, said his wife is a diehard Texans fan and his son is somehow a Chargers fan. So he said he's going to keep it pretty quiet in his house if the Patriots move on after Sunday. Live in Foxborough North, Aaron Parsegian, WBZ News.
Trying to keep the peace. All right, Aaron, thank you. Patriots legend and fan favorite Ty Law announced on WEEI Radio he'll have a special role at Sunday's game, Keeper of the Light. Law says it'll be his first time to be ringing the fog bell on the stadium's lighthouse, and he says he's excited. There has been a Keeper of the Light for every game since 2023. Tonight, we're going to get you set for the Texans on Patriots First Down. ESPN's Mike Reese joins us in studio at 9 o'clock tonight on TV 38 and streaming on CBS News Boston. And be sure to start your Sunday morning with Patriots Game Day at 11:30 on WBZ. Pats and Texans play at 3 o'clock and then turn to TV 38 for the fifth quarter postgame show. David?
All right, Lisa, now to your next weather, and we felt some warmer temperatures today, so that means it's going to be this way forever now, right? No, winter is going to make a comeback. Let's bring in our chief meteorologist, Eric Fisher, with your next weather forecast, but we do have one more day in this January thaw.
One left to go in the hopper here before we get back to reality. Temperatures today touching 50 in some towns, up into the 40s out there this evening. Some scattered lighter rainfall breaking out in Worcester County and toward New Hampshire. Basically like a 7-10 split tonight. We'll have that chance of rain off to the north and west. We'll also see a chance of rain off to the south and east across Cape Cod and the islands. In the middle, not really much of anything is expected. The best overall chance for a period of some steadier rain is toward Cape Cod and the islands. So we're going to hover around 40 degrees overnight tonight. So you see zone number 1 lifting north. There's zone number 2 later on tonight into just after midnight, and then tomorrow, the day itself, largely dry. We'll start off with some clouds. We'll trend toward brighter conditions more in the afternoon and toward the very tail end of the day. But a chance to touch 50 one more time tomorrow, and that will be it for a while, most likely around here. We'll just reach the low 30s on Friday. It'll be windy. Wind chill values will be back in the single digits on Friday morning. We do have some chances of snow this weekend. We will talk about that in the full forecast. Lisa?
All right, we'll see you then, Eric. Thanks. Breaking news this evening, a massive Verizon outage is impacting people all over the country. It started around noon today. A Verizon spokesperson tells CBS engineers are working urgently to solve this problem. And in some cases, it isn't just an inconvenience, but a public safety concern. The Southborough Police Department says while officers can receive 911 calls, they're unable to call people back. It's unclear right now what caused this outage.
Also breaking tonight, a bus driver who transported school kids in Grafton is now under arrest. charged with kidnapping and reckless endangerment. According to the court paperwork, 54-year-old Reddy Gase blocked or turned off his bus's cameras on 2 different occasions last month. In both cases, he had 1 child on board, and while the cameras were disabled, he took that child to a road that wasn't on his route. The victims are a 5-year-old boy who was nonverbal and a 3-year-old girl. The school department says Gase has been fired from his job with AA Transportation.
Well, tonight, dozens of people in Andover have been forced to move out of their homes. WBZ's Mike Sullivan is live at their condo complex to show us why. Mike, this sounds pretty serious.
It is, and also very sudden. They just got that notice last night and began packing today, with some people still trying to figure out where they're going to go. They may not be back to their homes for weeks. It's move-out day in Andover, and it's not by choice. Residents at this condo complex say they just found out last night they had to be out by today. They have no heat, no hot water.
Some people have no toilets. While people are still trying to move stuff out.
The issue stems from a power outage on Sunday. National Grid said a tree fell, impacting wires. The lights are back on, but the outage damaged the heating system. The building's management company said they could take weeks to fix it.
They didn't give us any diagnosis. They're saying the motherboard is, fried.
Niraj Tamar has to leave. Her cat Mary, too.
We are paying $1,100 condo fees, and the services we are getting, no emergency service, and it's just crazy.
As Larissa Lima drops her bags into her car, she plans to stay in a hotel on her own dime.
Some people just don't have a plan B. You don't plan being taken out of your home like that.
There's people upstairs from my tenant who just has a 4-day-old baby.
Lynn Rudnick owns one of the condos impacted. She managed properties for 20 years and already has sought legal counsel.
I put in temporary boilers. I got services restored when people lost their heat in the Columbia gas. They didn't lock people out of their units when Columbia gas happened.
On Sunday, all the residents lost heat and hot water, and now all but 4 buildings got some of their utilities back.
I didn't have heat until like 10 minutes ago, but I still don't have hot water. So that tells me the pipes are still going to break in this unit, as well as that.
Kenneth Barrett fears he could suffer the same fate as his neighbors.
I'm trying to raise my granddaughter right here.
The management company trucks are on the property today. We reached out to the company for comment, but have yet to hear back. When it comes to those insurance claims, neighbors say they're on their own. While the property and area does have that management company, those insurance claims are up to each individual condo owners. I think some people scramble financially while at the same time scrambling to find a place to stay. Live in Andover, I'm Mike Sullivan, WBZ News.
All right, Mike, thank you. Today, hundreds of police officers and first responders all gathered to pay their respects to an Uxbridge police officer who was killed in the line of duty. Officer Stephen LaPorta was hit and killed on the side of Route 146 last week while he was helping another driver. His wake was held this afternoon. A funeral service will be held tomorrow at 11. Officer LaPorta leaves behind a wife and a 13-year-old son.
President Trump is reiterating he believes the U.S. has to control Greenland to protect U.S. national security. Leaders from the U.S. and Denmark met today to discuss Greenland's future. It is part of the Kingdom of Denmark. Denmark's leaders are holding a firm but diplomatic stance, saying they still have, quote, fundamental differences with the United States over the future of Greenland. On Tuesday, Greenland's prime minister said it chooses Denmark over the U.S. But today, President Trump said that would be a mistake.
Greenland is very important for the national security, including of Denmark. And the problem is there's not a thing that Denmark can do about it if Russia or China wants to occupy Greenland. But there's everything we can do. You found that out last week with Venezuela. There's everything we can do about things such as that. Not going to happen.
The Trump administration refuses to rule out using military force to acquire Greenland, but President Trump has said he would prefer to make a deal.
Well, this is incredible news. A figure skater who lost his parents in a plane crash learns he's now headed to the Olympics.
Coming up next here, where Maxim Naumann found inspiration on the ice even as he grieved the death of his parents killed in the crash over Washington, D.C.
Coming up at 5:30, we have new information on the Minnesota ice shooting. What CBS has learned about the injuries suffered by the ICE agent who shot Renee Good.
And Tufts University researchers create a sweeter, healthier sugar substitute.
And as we head to break here tonight, we want to introduce you to this week's Wednesday's Child. Miguel is 10 years old and loves playing video games and exploring new places. He would do best with a family that can give him one-on-one attention and a structured environment. If you would like more information on Miguel and the adoption process, please go to our website. It's wbz.com/WednesdaysChild.
1-800-GOT-JUNK is full service.
Were killed in the plane crash over the Potomac River is now training to live out his dream.
Max Naumov, who trains with the Skating Club of Boston, learned this week that he's headed to the Olympics. As WBZ's Anna Myler shows us, the Olympics are a goal that Naumov did not think he would achieve after his whole world was shattered.
Max Naumov is back on the ice in Norwood after a whirlwind week, winning the bronze medal in the U.S. Figure Skating Championships in St. Louis and being named to Team USA.
It's very surreal. Like I said, I'm still pinching myself. It's in every sense of the word, it's a dream come true.
Naumov lost his parents 1 year ago in a mid-air plane crash near Washington, D.C. In the aftermath of losing his mom and dad, who were coaches at the Skating Club of Boston, Naumov wasn't sure if he would ever skate again. Now he is heading to the Olympics, a dream he shared with his parents.
I can't describe how difficult it was in the very beginning. And through month after month of just really trying my hardest to keep a positive mindset and focus on day to day. Thankfully, skating became a tool that actually helped me overcome all of that.
This is the first time since 2014 that the Skating Club of Boston is sending athletes to the Olympics. Spencer Howe and Emily Chan are also heading to Milan to compete on the world stage. After losing 6 members in the plane crash, including Naumov's parents, this group has supported each other and motivated each other to get to this point.
You don't know what is going to happen in life, but you roll with the punches and you find a way to move forward, right? So again, community, like that's everything to us.
These 3 skaters are excited and honored to represent the USA and to represent the Skating Club of Boston.
Boston feels like home for both of us, and just to be able to train at the Skating Club of Boston, be at this type of facility, the environment here is great, the training here is great, we have all the resources we need, and it's definitely a big part of why we're standing here right now.
Naumov plans to pack photos of his parents and to keep them with him for every moment of this exciting journey.
They were telling me that, the Olympics is such a celebration. It's the culmination of just years of your life dedicated to this one thing, and it's just celebrating athletes around the entire world, and I want to soak all of that in.
Naumov, Chan, and Howe are all heading to the Winter Olympics in Italy in just 2 weeks, and we will all be cheering them on as they go for the gold. In Norwood, Anna Myler, WBZ News.
Wow, and he's such a beautiful part of his parents' legacy, too.
No question. And, I was actually at that skating club, I think 2 days after the tragedy, and you could really feel that it is a community there, and this is really, really nice for them to be able to watch them in the Olympics.
And it's good for them to know how many people are rooting for them as they head to
It
Italy.
definitely helps with the healing process. All right, we're going to talk weather now, and we're going to bring in Eric.
Yeah, Eric, another day of relatively mild weather before things change significantly.
Yes, winter is going to come back at the end of this week, but one more day to go in our January thaw, and up around 50 tomorrow, and cold and gusty and all the layers back on as we start the day on Friday. Weekend has some snow chances. We've got a light mix on Saturday, but some accumulation is expected here, especially for interior spots. And we're going to watch Sunday night to see if some storminess offshore is going to try to back in a little bit closer, something to just watch over the next few days. Out there tonight, mild in the 40s. Here you see the colder air starting to come down across the Great Lakes. Our time is almost numbered here in our January thaw. A little bit of rain out there tonight, stretching into northern Worcester County and into New Hampshire. This area will tend to keep lifting off to the north as the night goes on. There'll be another area of rain that tries to graze us later on tonight. They'll move up across Cape Cod and the island. So farther to the north and west and farther to the south and east in the middle, mostly dry during the overnight hours. Temperature is staying very mild. It's up around 40 for the entire night tonight. Still some melting ice and some ponds and lakes getting a little bit more and more dicey. Some extra caution, a good idea before we get back into the colder air and things start to thicken up again. There's a look at that rain likely to come up across Cape Cod and the islands overnight tonight, but will be dry tomorrow morning, and most of tomorrow is dry. We'll have some clouds in the morning. We'll trend sunnier during the afternoon, especially late in the day, and that's when that colder air will start to make its way back on in. Before that happens, we just touch 50 again tomorrow. It'll be breezy out of the southwest before it turns more to the west late in the afternoon as that colder air starts to come in. 50 for Boston, Brockton, and Duxbury tomorrow. 44 in Worcester, Groton up to 46 degrees. And then tomorrow night, the wind will start to pick up. We'll see some gusts around 30 miles per hour. A few gusts over 30 miles per hour are possible on Friday morning. And then we'll see our winds start to subside late in the day on Friday. It'll be blustery and cold and feeling much more like January again. Wind chills coming on down. So we look at Friday morning, starting the day, mostly single digits to kick things off. It'll be windiest for the first half of the day, and then the winds calm down in the afternoon and evening. Then high temperatures close to the freezing mark for the most part, just a couple degrees cooler than average for this time of the year. Now, Saturday, pretty good chance for some scattered rain and wet snowfall. Temperatures aren't terribly cold, but I do expect us to get at least some minor accumulations out of this. Farther away from the coast inland, the best chance for a coating to an inch or two coming down on Saturday. So not terribly disruptive, but some towns may be shoveling the sidewalks and maybe some slower travel involved there. Then we're going to look towards Sunday night. Another trailing area of low pressure will be sliding offshore to the south and east. At the moment, it still looks like a miss, but it's close. And it's a little bit closer than yesterday, so something we're going to keep a close eye on as we make our way through the rest of this week. But for the Patriots, it still looks like 30s, a little breezy out of the west, and partly sunny skies on Sunday afternoon. And we'll be updating you on whatever happens for Sunday night as we continue over these next couple of days. Also notice next week, here comes the real cold. Cold on Tuesday and Wednesday. You knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, just a matter of time. Eric, thank you. WBZ's Courtney Cole is here with us now with a look at what is coming up new at 5:30. Courtney?
Well, Lisa, we all know winter in Massachusetts can be tough. The cold, gloomy, sometimes snowy weather, it can affect our mood. Coming up at 5:30, our national rank among states with the winter blues and how to find some relief, David and Lisa.
All right, Courtney, thank you. A lot of people asking that question. Well, if you want to cut out sugar, most alternatives are far from perfect.
But coming up next, the breakthrough discovery by Tufts researchers that could make a healthier sugar substitute that's just as sweet as the real thing.
I love the passion.
Researchers at Tufts University have made a sweet discovery. They have created a new sugar that tastes like the real thing without all the calories or the health risks. Tufts researchers say this new substitute is more like normal sugar than most alternatives.
It is promising news for people with diabetes or anyone trying to limit their sugar intake. So what is it? Well, Tufts researchers were able to make what they call tagatose, a rare, naturally occurring sugar that we can find in milk and yogurt and certain fruits. It's about 92% as sweet as table sugar and has about 60% fewer calories. But tagatose was rare and expensive to make. That is until Tufts researchers developed a new, cheaper process that uses engineered bacteria to turn common glucose into tagatose.
I guess a biochemical perspective, it is much more similar to regular sugar than something like Splenda or steviols or things like that. So the way it biochemically reacts with other things in food is much more similar to regular sugar than these synthetic or semi-synthetic sugar substitutes.
Tagatose also appears to limit the growth of some bacteria that cause tooth decay and may help support healthy gut bacteria. Experts say tagatose is also great for baking because it caramelizes very quickly.
That sounds pretty good.
It does, right? Got to taste it.
Try it.
Coming up at 5:30, Patriots on a roll, bringing some fans back from the Brady-Belichick dynasty. But which QB has New England's heart right now? Is it Brady or May? We'll find out.